Being able to produce a perfectly roasted chicken is one of the signs of an experienced chef versus a novice home cook. I'm going to show you how to do this like a professional, including the easiest way of trussing a chicken that you'll ever find, which is my own method that I developed when I was faced with hundreds of chickens to truss every day. You'll never go through the ridiculously complicated methods shown in books and other videos again once you see this. The seasoning that I'm showing here is for what I would call the classic American Sunday chicken dinner circa 1960. It will produce a universally appealing result, but it's still neutral enough that you can put just about any sauce you want with it and have fabulous results. I've put all of the spices in here together, the peppercorns and the herbs and all that, and the salt. I'm going to use now half of one of these Knorr chicken stock cubes, and that's going to go in here too. You can probably use another brand, but Knorr actually has a fairly natural, good flavor, and it contains some other ingredients that are really pretty difficult to obtain separately. Just grind this to a fine powder. In a bowl here, I've got the lemon juice and the olive oil, and just scrape out this spice grinder. And the nature of the ground spices here will actually do enough emulsification. You don't have to worry about the oil and the lemon juice separating too much. Just whisk these together and let it sit for a minute. This is the time to wash and dry the chicken while this sits, and then we'll begin coating it. I'm going to work with the chicken while it's actually in the roasting pan. There's no point in dirtying another pan. Now, I've already washed and dried this. I'm taking this solution, the spice mixture with the lemon juice and olive oil, and I'm putting it in the inside of the cavity using a brush. I'm using a lot of this. So I want to really get it in there. Don't be stingy with this part. There's a lot of flavor coming through here. Then I'm going to take the lemon that the lemon juice came from, the rest of it, and stuff it into the cavity, and we'll truss this up later. And then we begin brushing the outside of the chicken on all sides. I'm not going to make you watch the video while I go through the whole thing, but you get the idea. You want to coat the entire chicken with this seasoning mixture. And when you finish one side, you just flip the bird over and you start doing the other side. The next part is trussing. There are many ways of trussing a chicken. I'm going to show you an easy one, and we don't need to do anything fancy. We're not interested in chicken bondage here. We're not going to have kinky sex with the chicken. So we're just going to do it the easiest possible way. I'm going to stick this string underneath here. Right. Then come around here. Make a loop on each side, and you tie simple granny knots. All you need to do here. Just pull this together, just like this. You're going to pull it together. This is so it cooks evenly. And you tie your double granny knot. I already cut the wing tips off, remember. Now you go back here and you slide the string up just a little bit so that it pulls the wings in. That's it. Now, wasn't that easy? Is that the easiest trussing you've ever seen in your life? Anybody can do this. It takes, as you can see, very, very little time. Believe me, in a restaurant, when you got 100 chickens like this to do, you're not going to screw around with 9 laps of string all over the place. It's stupid. Okay, all I did here is I cut the end of the string off, and I flipped the chicken back over so that it's the other side is down. Now, I'm going to use baking paper. Do not use regular paper. Obviously, it has to be baking paper. It has to be capable of withstanding oven temperatures. And I'm going to just press it down a little bit. We don't have to get crazy about it, but we want to try to keep that moisture in. Making a packet, but if a little bit of moisture gets out, that's okay too. So this is it. It goes in the oven for the first hour, and then we'll take it out and turn it over. This is after 1 hour. And there it is. It's ready to go back in the oven for the remaining 30 minutes. Here we have the chicken after the last 30 minutes of cooking time. Beautiful, golden all the way around. I'm gonna let it cool down now. This is a big part of the secret to doing this. You cannot cut this right away. Do not do that. Do not make that classic mistake. It's been cooking for a long time. It needs to cool for a long time. Let it sit for 30 or 40 minutes. Okay, having removed the chicken, we've got the pan with the drippings on it. We're going to begin heating this up with a little bit more water. We're going to deglaze this pan. And it's on the burner. And just start scraping the bottom of it after adding the water to it. Just scrape the bottom a little bit. Then you're going to pass this through a sieve and put it into a fat separating pitcher. That's all. It's pretty simple. Here we go. This is the liquids that were collected off the chicken. You can see there's a layer of fat here. With fat separating pitcher, we can pour this off. We can use it to make gravy, or just save it as a dark chicken stock to use for some other recipe another day. And the chicken goes back. Now that the pan's been basically cleaned out, the chicken goes back into here and gets stuck under the broiler when you're actually ready to serve it. That'll finish off crisping up the skin, and it'll warm it back up again. This is the final chicken out of the oven after it's been in the broiler, and hopefully you can see it's brown on all sides. It's beautiful and tender. Just want to show you how tender and perfectly cooked this is. It's absolutely moist and delicious. You have to try this. This is absolutely perfect roast chicken. Also look for my cocktail book, Cocktails of the South Pacific and Beyond, Advanced Mixology, available through Amazon online.